Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy, Mr. Clever Cadaver, coming at you with the Hard Truth Network. And tonight, I'll be discussing a topic that's in the news pretty heavy, you know, and that's our president, Mr. Donald Trump. You know, I'll be sharing my opinion on him, what he represent, what he have done, his impeachment, and everything. So I'm gonna start by saying, first and foremost, I'm not a Trump hater. I'm not a Trump supporter. You know, I'm fairly neutral on the deal, but I do have my opinion. And first off, I would say that Trump is like, he have split personalities. Like, I studied the zodiacs. I'm into horoscopes to an extent and everything. And Trump is a Gemini. If you think back, all Geminis that's famous, and both my parents are Geminis, so I don't even have to reference famous Geminis, but all Geminis that's famous, you think Kanye West, Tupac, Lisa Left-Eye, you know, God bless the dead, you know, and everything. But all of them was like, they was multifaceted, to say the least. Like, a Gemini, from what I've seen and from what the charts say, they're like, there are at least two people living in one body, like two different personalities, two different characteristics. Sometimes it could be even more than two. And I've seen this firsthand, you know, just dealing with my parents. There's a side of my father that's real lovable and caring, and there's a side of my father that's like Satan personified, you know. And I believe it's the same with Trump, you know. Like, I don't think Trump is a bad guy per se, you know. I think he's a little immature. I mean, you can tell he grew up with a silver spoon. He grew up with a bunch of crazy ideals about life, you know. But I don't think he's a terrible guy. I think Trump is like, he's an everyday type of guy in a way. He's not, but then again he is. Like, Trump just wanted to be Trump. He wanted to be a celebrity. You know, he wanted to make people laugh. He wanted people to love him. You know, and he would do and say anything to make people like him. You know. But so I guess it'll be easier if I list the good things about Trump and list the bad things about Trump, you know. I'm going to start with the bad. Like, the fact that he want to be liked so much, you know, by everybody, leads to him, like, pandering to the bad people of this country, you know. Not the worst people, because the worst people are, like, the criminals and the people out here doing all this shooting, all this drug dealing, all this kidnapping. Like, he hate them like he should, but he pandered to the racists. Like, here he is, a guy that grew up in the North. The North is supposed to be so progressive and so anti-racism and everything, you know, but he like pandered to like Southern hardcore racist people, you know, and that's a bad quality. He need to denounce racism. He need to denounce the Confederate flag. He need to denounce the Confederate statues and all that. But he kind of pandered to them. He get up there. He said it before he became president. He said it back in the 80s. He would run as a Republican because Republicans are easy to be manipulated, you know. Like, they're easy. Like, Democrats, and liberals and I guess the left, we which I'm not either, but they come in all shapes and forms and like all kinds of ideals and beliefs. I guess that's the point of being liberal. They got liberal ideals. But when it comes to conservative, it's like that's kind of like a one-track mind. That's kind of like I'm right, everybody else wrong, and that's the end of it. You know, my way is the only way. Just white Christian values is the only values there are in this world. The only personality, the only characteristic, the only thing there is in this world, and that's all that matters. And he pandered to that, and he represents that. You know, and I'm trying to think what else is bad about Trump. I mean, he's narcissistic for sure. He's a little psycho. He seemed like he's empty-headed or something, or he's naive. Even though he's a billionaire and he ran companies. So he got to have a little smarts to him, and he survived New York. You would think a guy like him with all them billions, he got to be quick on his toes to be in New York and be all flashy, all through the mafia era and everything, like I never heard of him getting shook down or anything, you know, and but he come off as a little airheaded. Like when he speak, you can tell he just babbling and coming up with things as he's saying them, speaking faster than his mind is thinking, you know, and so forth. And let me think one more thing that's bad about Trump. And you can tell he's a white supremacist. You can tell that. You can tell he look at whites in one light and he look at everybody else in another light. And you can tell he look at blacks as being at the bottom. You know, there's supposedly a audio tape that Bruce Willis have, of all people, of Trump talking about blacks and referring to us as the N-word. You know, and you can just tell like when way back when him and Maxine Waters was going at it. They asked Trump what was his opinion of Maxine Waters. First thing he said is she got a very, very low IQ. That's a thing that racist white people have clung on to since the early 1900s, when supposedly the same guy who pretty much engineered the Holocaust came out and said that he tested every black person in the world and all blacks got natural low IQ, and it's okay to like implement Jim Crow and everything because all blacks are dumb. So don't even look at them as equal and don't never treat them as equal. You know? Okay. And it's like, I mean, you can, I gotta put it, white people, a lot of them, most of them, I would say, even the so-called good ones, they cling to that notion. That's a notion that they have embedded in their brain and they won't never ever let it go. That blacks are, the guy actually said blacks are dumber than monkeys, and we're naturally dumber than monkeys. We can't be taught, we can't learn, and slavery was okay and Jim Crow is okay and hanging them is okay because they're nothing but monkeys anyway. They're less than monkeys, you know. And I swear, a lot of whites, that's whites, like a lot of them. That's their like saving grace when we're out there slam dunking and running touchdowns and being the fastest guy on the track and field, and out here with style and grace and looking good and our music, the top selling music, all that. Believe it or not, that depress a lot of, not only whites, it depress a lot of people. I say it especially depress Asians and his, maybe not Hispanics, but yeah, Hispanics too, especially Mexicans. They look at that like, wow, like blacks are out here stealing the show, you know. What are we doing? You know, blacks got these shoes named after them. They setting trends in fashion. They got their top selling music. You know, okay. Well, whites always go to, at least the whites that I see on the internet leaving comments and stuff, they always go back to, well, blacks got the lowest IQ. Blacks only have small brains and they're dumber than monkeys, you know. And I'm like, well, do you not know Ben Carson? Ben Carson just as black as can be, and he was a brain surgeon. You know, my sister's a doctor. You know, my family have always owned businesses. I'm a pretty smart guy. You know, I'm a music producer, a songwriter. I make beats. You know, I work on cars. I can do a lot of things. Like, I'm multifaceted. You know, but like I said, whenever Trump referred to his black opponents, that's the first thing he go to. They got low IQs. He said Don Lemon was dumber than LeBron James, and that's really dumb because LeBron James is just as dumb as something, something, something. You know, whenever some black person come at him, that's the first thing he do is attack their IQ, and that's just the racist bigot coming out of him. And like I said, for a guy coming out of the North, you know, I'm a little surprised about that. But then again, you know, I had a job offer one time to become a correctional officer in New York, and the guy that was giving me the offer, he was Hispanic, and he was like some head guy at the Department of Corrections. It's not like I was seriously thinking about taking the job, even though he said I could make 100 grand a year. But he also let me know that I would have to work, and like he gave me an option of what barrels to work. And he said I basically have to work in the city because outside of the city is real racist and they wouldn't let me in. It's like a white man's club. He was like I would be in danger trying to go to certain places in New York, trying to be a correctional officer or something. He let me know that right off gate. He said they're not gonna let you in, you know. And it's like, you know, like I said, so maybe I shouldn't be surprised that Trump is a New Yorker, but he's as racist as the most racist Southerner, you know. But like I said, Trump got split personalities, you know. So I mean, like maybe one part of him racist. Maybe he'll wake up racist on Monday, and then Tuesday he'll do like he did recently. He said that blacks built this country. He said we don't get the credit for it, but blacks built America, you know. And they kind of swept that under the rug. I would like to see what a diehard Trumper got to say about that, you know. But then you know, Obama made it where Harriet Tubman was going on a $20 bill, and that was one of the first things Trump went and shut down. He shut that down with the quickness, you know. So things like that. That's the three bad things about Trump, you know. That he's airheaded, he's narcissistic, he's racist, and he pandered to racists, you know. Okay, I'm gonna try to come up with three good things about Trump, though. I say one, he's not a politician. You know, a politician would do like Obama did, went in there and just because his general said so, he went and killed somebody who really looked up to him, and somebody I'm quite sure that he looked up to, and to an extent, Gaddafi. Gaddafi was a good man. Gaddafi didn't do anything. It was his generals. It was other people around that made up a reason to kill Gaddafi. They say Gaddafi was trying to make it where um like commerce and like trade around the world would be based on natural resources and gold and diamonds, or maybe not diamonds but gold instead of US paper dollars, you know. And that would have made a lot of African nations the richest nations in the world, because most of the gold come from Africa. America don't even have that much gold. And the gold they have, where you think they got it from? Maybe from the gold rush, but a lot of that gold came from Africa, you know. So Gaddafi got killed on Obama orders, and Obama just been a politician following his generals, you know, and a good man got murdered. Okay, Trump had a chance to go to war with Iran because the generals wanted him to, over a daggone Tor plane, in my opinion, a drone, you know, that the Iranians shot down, and Trump said no. He stopped it right at the last minute. And if we would have attacked Iran, there's a good chance that would have been the end of the world. Iran is not playing, and, and Russia is not playing about Iran. And it's all mapped out in the Bible. You know, I can't tell you exactly where. I know it's in Revelations, but it said that well, it says that Persia is going to attack Israel, and Persia is Iran. And then they said the nation from the west is going to attack Persia. That would be America. Then it said the nation from the north and the far east is going to get involved and attack Israel and the nation from the west. That's Russia, China, you know. And then that's going to be the end of the world. That's going to be Armageddon, you know. So, yeah, I mean, it looked like it's going to happen. And then it said the last war was going to be on the Tigris River. And we've been right there. We've been right there on the Tigris River. So Trump said he didn't order the strike on Iran when he heard 150 people was going to die. And that's him being a human and not a politician. That's him saying that he didn't want to have 150 bodies over no darn drone. You know what I mean? I can respect that. That was human of him. That was very unpolitician of him. Because, I mean, I'm no Obama hater, but I'm no Obama fanatic. But I feel like Obama would have went ahead with it if that's what his generals wanted to do. The politician in Obama would have said, go ahead. The politician in Bill Clinton more than likely would have said, go ahead and do it. Like, politicians don't care about collateral damage. They don't care. It's just a number to them. 100 people getting killed and 150 people getting killed in an airstrike. You know, that's nothing. It's just a number. To Trump, I can tell that was something he didn't want to do. He didn't want to think of 150 dead people. And it happened on, you know, on his watch and at his orders. You know, so that's one good thing I can say about Trump. Another thing, his willingness to talk to our so-called enemies and try to work out a deal. Once again, all the previous presidents for the last 60 years have sat there, especially these more recent ones, Obama and George W. Bush, you know, have sat there and played war games on the border with North Korea. And let me give you a brief history. North Korea never had a problem with South Korea. North Korea have never done anything to America. North Korea and South Korea was one nation. After World War II, when America nuked Japan and Japan surrendered, Japan had control over North Korea. Now America had control over Japan. So that made America have control over Korea, you know. And it was like, America was like, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to split them up. Russia, you can have the northern part, and we're going to take the southern part. And that's just it. We're going to build a big old wall or a big old zone or whatever, separate the two. And now there's a North and South Korea. I'll be back, y'all. I gotta go to work. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna have to wrap this up. But like I was saying, Trump willingness to talk to Korea. He ended the war zone, the war games on their border. You know, which in true American white supremacy forum, America go over there and store all that tension. And then when North Korea react to them playing war games and detonating live bombs and acting like they're going to invade the country, when North Korea react to that, then they make North Korea the bad guy. In true white supremacist form, you starting all the trouble, but when the people you're starting the trouble with even remotely swing back, all of a sudden they're the bad guy, they're the evil one. How dare they swing back at the almighty white man? Okay, that been the policy with North Korea. Bill Clinton had a good relationship with them too. And I feel like it's a good thing for Trump to be trying to negotiate with the Koreans. He should have got a Nobel Peace Prize for easing the tension with South and North Korea, even though they never had a problem. It was just America there and true white supremacist forum, um, dividing and conquering. Okay. And I'm going to have to wrap it up. So the third thing that I could say I like Donald Trump about, or the third thing that's good about Donald Trump, I don't necessarily like him, but I mean, he have qualities that I don't hate. Is the fact that he believe in what he believe, like wholeheartedly, and he honest about what he believe. Even though he is, I do see him as a racist, racist. You know, I feel like he don't hide it. It's so easy to see, and he ain't necessarily trying to hide it. And like I said, he got split personalities. I know people like him. Part of him might be racist. Part of him might really love black people. He had a relationship with Mike Tyson. He had a relationship with Dennis Rodman. He was good friends with Nene Leakes. He hired Snoop Dogg to come and perform at a party or something. You know what I mean? The man got history with black people. You know. But I lost my train of thought. See, I was sitting still, now I'm driving. But what was I saying? I mean, like I said, he believe in what he believe. You know. So it's like, what would you rather have? Somebody who hates your guts but pretending that they love you, you know, or somebody that hates your guts and they can't hide the fact that they hate your guts. And really somebody like him, so if he portrayed as an enemy of black people and he don't want that stigma, he's gonna go the extra mile to try to make it look like he's a friend of black people. Like, Donald Trump has released a lot of black prisoners. People I know personally, Donald Trump released them. I know a guy, he was sentenced to 35 years. He had 15 more years to go. And he's out now, free as a bird. That Kim Kardashian and all that stuff she's doing, like, she's really getting Donald Trump to free a lot of black people that was locked up for a long time, you know. And then, like, you know, I mean, like I said, your enemy could be like Nipsey Hussle last Instagram or tweet said, having powerful enemies could be a blessing. He said something like that. God bless the dead. But okay, I gotta go, y'all. This your boy Bobby Cadabble. I'm signing out.